Introducing Support Series 3, Verb Tenses in English, Video 6, Past Simple Continuous, How and When to Use it. Past Simple Continuous, or Past Progressive Tense, if you will. Please note that just watching these videos won't get you to improve upon your verb tenses. You'll actually need to be practicing this actively, but these videos will help you get through some theoretical background on verb tenses specifically to help you get started and to point you in the right direction. Frequently asked questions posed by clients. What is the difference in terms of emphasis between the past simple and the past simple continuous? And how do we use the past simple continuous in narratives, so stories? Stay tuned to find out the answers to these two questions. Let's start. This video consists of 4 parts. First of all, we're going to focus on the form. Then in part 2, positive and negative statements. In part 3, questions. And in part 4, when to use this verb tense. Note that in this part, the 2 answers will also be given to the questions that were posed earlier. The objective of this video is to refresh your memory when it comes to the use of the past simple continuous, or past progressive tense if you will, and then in terms of form and usage. Part 1. The past simple continuous, the basics, a focus on form. Please note that you will always start with the subject, followed by was or were, and then a verb of choice that is modified by placing ing to the base of the verb. Part 2. Past simple continuous in statements, the basics, a focus on form. Let's start with positive statements, using the past simple continuous. I was cooking. You were waiting. He was driving. She was reading. It was raining. We were playing. They were doing something. Moving on to negative statements and contracted forms. I was not sleeping. I wasn't sleeping. You were not waiting very long. You weren't waiting very long. He was not listening. He wasn't listening. She was not paying attention. She wasn't paying attention. It was not snowing. It wasn't snowing. We were not playing a game. We weren't playing a game. They were not watching a movie. They weren't watching a movie. Part 3. Past simple continuous used in questions. The basics, a focus on form. The past simple continuous used in closed-ended questions. Was I sleeping? Were you studying? Was she working? Was he working there at the time? Was it raining when you left? Were we eating? Were they studying? The past simple continuous in open-ended questions. When was I discussing that? What were you cooking earlier tonight? Why was he listening to him? When was she meeting them? When was it raining so much in summer? What were they eating? And where were they eating? So like I mentioned at the start of this video, you will need to practice this to be able to start mastering it. So take a course with us, or let us develop a tailor-made language and communication course for you. Alright, so let's move on to the next part of this video. Part 4. The past simple continuous usage. When to use the past simple continuous and why. First of all, the past simple continuous is used to talk about overlapping actions in the past. So an action in the past which overlaps another action or time. So the action in the past continuous starts before and often continues after the other shorter action or time. For example, while I was texting a friend, I received an email with an invitation to a job interview. So the past simple continuous is often used for the background of a story. And note that we often use the past simple for the actions. For example, the co-workers were chatting about their personal lives, the cleaning staff was cleaning the office spaces, and the first clients were walking into the waiting area. John walked over to his office and turned on his computer. The day was just about to start. Next, the past simple continuous is used to talk about temporary habits or habits that happen more often than we expected in the past. So the habit started and finished in the past, and the thing doesn't really happen now. So it's used with time indicators like always, constantly, and forever. For example, he was always leaving the door open. She was always complaining about something. And finally, the past simple continuous is used to emphasize that something lasted for a while. So the duration of an event is emphasized. And it's used with time expressions like all day, all evening, for hours. For example, I was working on that project report for hours. I was texting with him all day. So in this video, the past simple continuous was discussed. Up next, more videos on verb tenses in English. Please note that you can subscribe to stay updated on all things English for specific and academic purposes. So new videos will be published shortly. So if you'd like to learn how to start using them well, and if you'd like to practice them, take a course with us or let us develop a tailor-made training service for you to make sure that you won't waste any time and money in the long run. Well, that concludes our video, but we'd love to hear from you too, so please comment below and share your experiences. If this video was useful for you, please like it and subscribe to my channel.